Hi guys, I hope you're all doing great. Uh, this live is actually it's going to be a very candid, it's not even an interview. It's just going to be a talk between our very own Ram Kumar. Just to give a brief about Ram, he was someone who joined Maple Assistance very early during the COVID 2020, and we are having a wonderful experience like 3 years. So I want you all to hear it from Ram Kumar as well.
Yeah, hi. Hi Ajay, how are you?
Hear me loud and clear, Ram.
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic. So,
I can hear you.
okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself to all our viewers.
Yeah, myself, Ramkumar Bardhan. I'm currently working in Qatar as health and safety.
Okay, looks like we are
And
losing you in between, Ram.
I started having this idea of migrating to Canada. Yeah, yeah.
In
Am I audible?
between, like you are not audible. I don't know if it's for me or for anyone else.
Okay,
Okay, maybe the internet is playing around with you. Okay, no problem. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay,
Continue. I'm sorry.
okay. So where was I? I'm working currently in Qatar, and I have 10 years experience in my field, that is occupational health and safety. NOC 2263 2232. Back in 2019, I got this idea of migrating to Canada as PR. So that time I was doing my PhD in mechanical engineering, as well as I was working with a service-based company as a
Okay.
consultant and trainer. So I was waiting for completing my PhD so that I will get my certificate and then I can apply for ECA, right? So ECA and IELTS are two most important things, whether you are going for PNP or whether you are
Right.
directly aiming for FSW. So these two things are like prerequisite. So I was waiting for my PhD to get complete. And then once I complete my PhD,
I
I think I
remember.
contacted
I
you
remember the
and
incident.
we were
So,
having
if
discussion
I'm
like,
not wrong, I think it was 2020 when you got in touch with me for the first time. Uh, First time you
yes,
called me
2020.
up,
Yeah, yeah,
you spoke to me. You didn't sign up that time. I think it was after 2 months you signed up with me, I guess, right? So
yes.
let's talk. Let
Yeah,
let's talk
yeah.
about this.
Because
Let's talk
why I
about
didn't
this. Let's
sign
talk
up?
about what made
Because,
you call Maple
uh,
Assistance, or what made you talk to me, and why did you decide to sign up with
yeah,
Maple Assistance? Like, what was the
okay.
whole thing going around? Because I've never asked you this question before.
Yeah. See, initially I was watching a lot of videos, and then I came across one of your videos, which was
Okay.
statistically very impressive. So you were showcasing some kind of numbers, and you were uh, analytically presenting some data based on the past draws, which really impressed me. So because of that, I called you instantly. And before I contacted you, I also been to many consultancy offices, and the way they they present themselves and their wants, they usually demand money, and it was like not clear what process they are going to do and what they are up to. So it was not very much clear to me whenever I received some consultancy. So then I got some idea like I can do it myself on watching a lot of PR videos, like many couples sharing their story, like we applied them ourselves, and we are now in Canada, so and so videos, which made me to contact you. And initially,
Yeah.
you asked me to write IELTS. That time I was not prepared. I was
Okay.
concentrating on my PhD bio voice. So I was waiting for that 2 months to over so that I can finish my PhD, get my certificate, and then I can start preparing for IELTS, as well as parallelly I can
Okay.
apply for ECA
So
also.
many of the people
Yes.
who are
So
got it.
that's why I took that
So
two
many of
months.
the people who are watching this, they don't know anything about you. So I want you to share your IELTS experience with all the people who are watching, and many more are going to watch this once this thing gets the live gets over, right? So tell me about your experience with IELTS. So how many times did you take it, and what happened each and every time? How did you keep yourself motivated, and your routine of taking IELTS back to back? So can you please share that with our viewers?
So when I start preparing for IELTS, I started with the YouTube video only. I watched some random channels. I started with speaking model, and then gradually I moved on to writing model. And I was also downloading some IELTS Cambridge textbooks, like 12, 13, 14. And then I was preparing myself. And after 2 months, I wrote my IELTS exam. After preparation for 2 months, I wrote my IELTS exam. That time I got 8.7, 6.5, 6.5 in writing model. So that's when I realized I need some mentor and I need some force to guide me so that I can get into that magic score of 8,777. So you initially helped me up with a lot of models which you recorded, and you gave me the login details, and which really helped me to understand all the four models in a better way, in a simpler way. It was only 1 hour, I believe, for each model you made videos were on, and we also had regular discussion. Since I'm working in Gulf, I'll be usually free on Fridays, so you readily available on Fridays, so which really helped me to prepare for reading and writing models, and even speaking models. You
So tell
really
me
helped me
about
a lot.
your first experience, and I think you gave IELTS 5 times or 6 times. I don't remember it right. Five.
I think 5 times, and all the 5 times I almost
CLB
got
10. The
same
maximum
mark.
in
Point 0.5 mark I missed in
CLB
writing
10
model,
in three
CLB.
modules.
But you were constantly
Okay.
encouraging
So
me
I
to,
really have this
yeah,
question, okay, for you.
CLB.
I still remember, for all the viewers who are watching, Ram Kumar, he has given IELTS 5 times, all right? And every time he used to get CLB 10, that is a maximum in three modules, and he would miss out by point 0.5 in either one of the module, right? And I still remember,
Point 0.5.
that's right.
Yeah, either
So I still
writing
remember
or
a time
speaking.
when Ramkumar used to go give the exam, and he used to come in the evening and he used to give me a call and say, "Hey, should I go ahead book the test for the next week as well?" Right? He decided that okay, every week, every month he's going to give at least 2 IELTS attempt till he's going to clear it. So, uh, talk us through that particular phase where you were giving the IELTS regularly, but somewhere it was missing. How did you keep yourself motivated? How did you give so many IELTS attempts? Because I see many people
So
right now.
basically,
Okay,
I
many people
was I
right
was
now.
very desperate.
Many
I
people
was
right
very
now, they
desperate.
are actually when they give it once or twice, they feel really demotivated. They think that okay, this is not going to be working out for them. They give up on their dream pretty easily, right?
Okay.
But in your case, you never gave up until otherwise I asked you to stop. You were actually giving it left, right, and center. So, what was the one that was motivating you, and what went through your mind during that tough phase, missing out on point 0.5 on one module?
See, actually, I'm a very big fan of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I love a quote: "A dream is not what you see in sleep. A dream is the thing which doesn't let you sleep." So I was having sleepless night. Once I didn't get my desired score, I had a lot of sleepless night, which made me to rebook the exam again and again, and to reappear and to get the desired score. But eventually, I didn't get what I wanted. So that time I was aiming for a 8,777. I didn't get that, but in some other way, I got something as a surprise
Yeah.
later in the
So
form
now
of
that you
SINP.
spoke about SINP, let's talk about how we got into SINP. Because we were primarily fully focusing on getting a direct invitation through the express entry process, because your profile was really good. If
Yes,
at all you cracked
yes,
that point
yes.
0.5, if you would have got that point 0.5, the score would have been 490s and you would have got a direct invitation. Things would have been different right now. But what happened after that fifth attempt?
Yes.
So can you please let
Yeah.
the viewers know?
So after the fifth, yeah, after the fifth attempt, I was browsing through Saskatchewan Nomination Immigration Program in their official website. So that time I downloaded a PDF, occupation in demand list PDF. So I could see my NOC code, that is 2263. And as well as I could see some past draws having similar NOC code and in lower scope. So with that confidence, I initially created UI profile. I think I didn't even discuss it with you initially when I created it, but after 2 days, I called you and I told you that I have created this profile and kindly help me out with the other information related to this program. And then we were having some discussion. And initially I had like with since I had ECA and IELTS score in my hand, I created it. I don't know what is the requirement for that program. I didn't know what is going to happen, whether I'm going to receive the invitation or not. If I'm receiving the invitation, how to proceed with that invitation, what are the document requirements related to the work experience, so and so. But when I received the invitation, I was very happy and I contacted you. I think it was
Yeah.
7 in
Yeah.
the morning. I noticed that I got an email from SINP. Uh, I didn't even realize I got ITA from Saskatchewan. Only 1 week after I created my UI profile, I received the invitation, and within few hours, I realized there was one particular
Yeah.
requirement
Before
in which
before
they were
we
demanding
before we go to
90
that,
days proof of
so
fund.
before we go to that, we'll keep it for the next segment. So before we go to that, so what exactly happened here is, this is for the viewers, okay? So I'm a kind of a person
Yeah,
who primarily focuses on, like, I my prime focus would be on the express entry part. So for any people like Ramkumar, who's having a fantastic profile and who are very close to achieving their CLB 9 and getting that score, I never talk about the PNPs to those people. So I think Ramkumar, you can also remember I telling you constantly, it is just a matter of one correct CLB 9. That's it. You don't have to get distracted. There was a lot of discussion
yes,
between you and
yes,
me back and forth. Should I go for Saskatchewan? Should I give another try? Even after creating a profile with Saskatchewan, even after getting a expression of interest from Saskatchewan, we were thinking of, retaking the IELTS one more attempt to see if you're getting a direct invitation or not, right? So, but
yes, yes,
eventually, after some point in time, I also understood that you've already given 5 attempts and you already spent enough on IELTS. So felt like maybe, and you are also very particular about moving to Saskatchewan, even if you get a direct invitation. Am I right? Because your job is in demand in Saskatchewan.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
anyways, you wanted to move to Saskatchewan. So that actually convinced me was
As well as cost of
less.
living
But
was
trust
less, right?
me, now it's
Even
all
now
on the
it's less.
increasing. Okay, it's on the rise right now. The whole Canada is now increasing. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's crazy here in Ontario, but again, Saskatchewan is not that crazy, but still, it is quite high compared to what you used to have 2 years back. But anyways, oh yeah, let's come to the next part of it.
great.
So you created a profile, or we created a profile, we did all those things, but something went wrong the first time, right? So something went wrong in the first time. We were not able to go through that. So
Yeah,
please share that particular story, like what happened, what went wrong. So yeah, you can share that.
I think proof of fund. I was having proof of fund, but Saskatchewan
You can
wanted every
talk
immigrants to
about
have
the
their proof of
SINP
fund
requirement. You
continuously
can
for
talk
90
about the
days
requirement.
before
You can share
filing
that
their
to all the viewers who are watching this. Yeah.
requirements. Yeah, yeah. So as per their requirement, you need to have 90 days proof of fund continuously. The amount should be same or more for continuous 90 days before you file your application. But for me, I think I didn't had the required proof of fund for 1 week in my account due to some personal reason. So that made me ineligible for the first time when I received the invitation. I realized it only after some 6 hours after I received my ITA. I literally I got depressed and I didn't know what I was about to do. I called you and I even called SANP officers that day night. I recharged my mobile and I was calling them and I was asking them, "This is my condition. Will you excuse me like that?" And they were telling like, "No, we need this fund continuously for 90 days. Even if the fund is less for at least
Right.
one day,
So,
you will be rejected. We won't see
okay, so let me give some
any other
clarity to
criteria
all the
apart
people
from
who are
this.
watching this. So in case if you're planning to apply for SINP, there are two important criteria. So one, you have to make sure, obviously you have to make sure that your occupation is in demand, right? Only then you will be able to apply under the Saskatchewan nomination program. Number two, you need to ensure that your field of education and your field of work actually matches, right? Let's say you're a mechanical engineer, but you're working for an IT company, then no, you may not be eligible under Saskatchewan nomination. And the third important factor is the proof of funds. So when it comes to Saskatchewan, they are very particular about the proof of funds, right? They want you to maintain the proof of funds for the past 90 days. So by the time you get a nomination, right? Let's say you're getting a nomination today. They're going to look at the past 90 days, the last 3 months, and they check whether you have the funds with you in hand, right? Even for one day you don't have the funds, then your nomination is going to get cancelled. They're going to reject your nomination. This is not the case. Go ahead.
But problem here is the from the day you receive your ITA, you will have only 60 days to file your application. So you should be maintaining your proof of fund at least for 30 days.
Before creating your expression of interest, make sure that you're having your proof of funds ready. And once that's sitting 30 days, then you go ahead and create your profile. So that's the one topmost advice that that we have for all the people who are aspiring to get into Saskatchewan. All right. Okay. So you called them up. They told no, it's not going to be accepted. And what happened? So what did we do next? So you can share that with our viewers.
So after that, it happened in mid of July 2022, and I started preparing many documents needed for the work experience. I was contacting my previous employers, and I was collecting all the documents. And then I realized my passport is going to expire in January 2023. So meanwhile, I can start maintaining my proof of fund as well as I can renew my passport. So in the future, I no need to raise any bid form to add my new passport, right? So it will add up some confusion for the immigration officers. So that time I made use for the passport updation, and then I also maintained my proof of fund for 35 days, I believe.
We recreated the EOI profile. Correct. That's exactly right. And let's talk about the draw where you received the nomination for the second time, the invitation for the second time. I think your score was 69.
So when I received
the draw was 61, I guess.
Yeah, 69.
You can
60, I believe it was 60. That is the lowest score which SINP never had.
Score, right?
So far, that's
I think after you got the invitation on that particular draw, we didn't see draws happening for your knock code. 1 or 2 draws it happened, I guess.
Yeah. No. Yeah. For 3 to 4 draws maximum was happening. So after that, they removed my NOC code from their demand list.
So you just got lucky at the right time, right? So it worked.
Yeah, I think I was at right place at right time with the right person like you.
Yeah. Let's talk about the documentation part. It was an extensive documentation. I know that, I had asked you to collect this, do this, do that. I asked you n number of documents. Let's talk about
it was like an imposition at first. It was like an imposition for me at first. But gradually, I started realizing the importance of having all those documents to prove my work experience and all other elements which I had in my
If you can let us know, viewers, about the documentation required for SINP as well. And some people are asking about the fund required. So if you can shed some light on that, it will be really helpful to all the people who are watching. Yeah. The different documents and the fund required.
I think that time, fund for two people in the family would be like I think it was like 60,500, but now it got increased to 17,000, I believe, before 2 months. So I was having 18,000, 17,500 or 18,000. I had some
Guys, this is all
$8
Canadian dollars.
extra, so
What
that
Ram Kumar
even
is
if
talking
there is
about is
any
Canadian. Yeah.
fluctuation in the currency, yeah,
And
Canadian.
go walk us
Yeah.
through the documentation as well. What
So
are the
you should
different
be
documents you
having
submitted for Saskatchewan?
mainly for work experience. They demand four evidences. The first and foremost is a reference letter, the same format
Right.
which you will submit for FSW, and the other three is any evidence from your workplace. It can be payslip, it can be bank statement, but out of that three
Correct.
evidence, one should be government issued. So for government issued document,
Correct.
I submitted PF, work history, and PF card, and
Right.
even passbook. I think we submitted it. So for every employer, it was
Yeah.
4 documents, but we submitted like 7, 8
That's right.
documents, I believe. And we also created like an index kind of thing
That's right.
in a detailed letter of explanation, and we named the file accordingly so that the officers who are handling my file won't get any
Okay.
um,
So all the people who are watching,
discomfort.
you may be thinking like, I don't understand what Ram Kumar is talking about. So let me explain. So when it comes to Saskatchewan, the documentation is very extensive, right? So unlike the regular express entry process, Saskatchewan documentation is really extensive. So we went overboard. Like if they demand 4 documents, we went overboard. We submitted 7 documents, 8 documents for some of his experience, right? And not just that, we also made a clear letter of explanation. The letter of explanation is more like a book. It had so many pages and so many proofs attached to it, just to ensure that the person who is looking at the profile application, he is very clear with whatever has been mentioned there. So that's how we do here. And Ramkumar was very cooperative with that, and he went ahead and he got as many documents as possible. So that enabled me as well, gave me the privilege to add more documents to the proof part. So that way, nothing gets screwed up. So let's talk about that moment when you received the nomination. Finally, everything went through. I think 6 months.
See, before nomination, I want to highlight one more thing: the hard work we did in collecting the documents, in making the letter of explanation, which all paid us, right? We were
Correct.
not having
That's right.
even one
Yeah.
additional document request. I
Hmm.
I were part of some other group in WhatsApp and Facebook. In people of same situation, they were sharing their experience. They were getting rejection. They
Correct.
were having a lot of document requests. I could see some people, they were having 3 additional document requests,
Correct.
and then they had their rejection letter. So in that way, I think
No,
we
no.
were lucky
It is not about the luck.
because
It
of the
is
hard
frankly
work we
speaking, we
we
have
put
put in so much
in.
of effort, right, to make sure that you remember the word that
Yeah,
I used to
yeah, it paid us. It
say,
paid us back. Yeah.
360-degree. We need to cover the application. So that's exactly what we did, and that's the reason why we were
Yeah,
able to
we
smooth sail
did that.
into the nomination part. So how many days, how many months
Yeah,
it took for you to get
yeah.
the nomination?
We submitted this
Yeah, November
application in the
1st. Yeah,
first
on
week of
birthday.
November. I think November 2, and we yeah. But since we submitted the application, the status was application submitted till March 1st week. On March 2nd week, the status changed to in process. So that time I was like, okay, something is going to happen,
Yeah.
either the rejection or acceptance. And then by March last week, I got
Oh,
nomination
correct. Yeah.
exactly on
Right.
March
So it's
31.
been November, December, January, February, March, 5 months, and you got your nomination. Oh,
5 months, 5 hard months.
yeah.
I was refreshing the page every now and then. I think every 2 3 hours I used to refresh the page and I will see the application status. And at
That's
last, March
right.
31, I got nomination. And then after 2 3 days,
Express
it got added
profile.
in
Okay. So
my
then
express entry profile.
talk us through the express entry. Now that you have got the nomination, 600 points you have got, 1000 plus points you got. But now again, we have to do this express entry documentation process. So how easy was that, or how difficult was that for you to do?
It was
With
CCPC because we had all the documents in our hand. We
correct.
also had some letter of explanation already. So
Correct. Yeah.
we have to reduce the words. whatever we gave to SINP, we were shortlisting everything, and we were segregating as per FSW requirement. And I also did my upfront medical that time before submitting, and even before getting the
Yeah, just
invitation
3 4
from
days before.
Express Entry
Yeah, correct.
in the first week of April. Yeah. Once I got the nomination, I booked appointment, and I went ahead with upfront medical, and I got the required documents to upload during
Fantastic,
the
fantastic.
application submission.
So, what's the status of your application right now? So you can share that with all of viewers.
So right now I'm done with my upfront medical passed. I think I got this notification on 25th May, and on the same day I received my biometric instruction letter, and I gave my biometrics on 1st June. So right now my eligibility is in progress. Hopefully it will get complete by
So it's going
end
to
of
be
this
another
month
2
or next
months.
month,
I think you
sometime
should be having
soon.
your PR stamped,
Yep.
your passport stamped, and your COPR in hand. So I hope to see you. I think you're going to fly to Saskatchewan via Toronto. So I hope you drop down here. Yeah. All right. So
Sure.
fantastic,
We'll meet.
fantastic. Thank you so
Exactly.
much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your personal experience. So all my dear viewers.
So without your support, I don't think I would have did all this process in a smoother
Okay,
way. I don't think,
that's
because even though I was watching a lot of
that's exactly
videos.
why I'm here.
Yeah, thank you very
Exactly
much
why I'm
for your
to
support
help and support.
and guidance. And I was disturbing you very often since last 2 years, every now and then, and you were always there for me. Like, you were picking my calls, even whenever you are busy. You always text me like, I will attend your call after two hours, or I will call you after 3 hours. You are responding me. That's actually great. That quality, I didn't even had that felt that quality even with my closest friends. Sometimes they used to neglect, but you were so
On a
supportive and
professional
friendly.
front, I had to be
I
really
really
professional.
appreciate
I
it.
cannot just like that reject your call, because there is a responsibility on my
Yeah.
shoulders as well to make sure everything goes smooth. So yes, it's combined effort.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
You
definitely
were very
a combined
professional throughout
effort.
this
Like, I
process.
shared my knowledge, my expertise, and you put in your hard work. And yeah, now we are here. I hope you get your PR very soon. Come here, maybe have a coffee, spend a day here, and then you can fly to
Sure.
Saskatchewan. So how is your preparation going on
Sure,
now?
we
Have
will.
you already started looking at the job sites? Have you decided about booking the tickets? What's actually going through your mind right now?
So actually, I started applying for few jobs
Okay.
in sexjobs.com. It's a
Government.
website
Yeah.
run by the Saskatchewan government,
Hmm.
as well as jobbank.ca. I have
Mhm.
applied few jobs in that website, as well as in LinkedIn. I got a premium membership,
Very
and
good.
I keep on applying for jobs. So far,
Yeah,
I didn't
you need the
receive any
PR.
calls from the
Yeah.
recruiters, but hopefully
Yes.
soon. After
You will
COPR,
receive.
maybe I will receive. I'm planning to move
Okay.
by yearly 2024,
Very
as
harsh.
winter
Yeah.
will be very harsh in Canada,
That's,
and that too for me, it's the very first time with snow. So most
don't
probably
come.
by
Don't
February
come by
last week
last
or
week, because
March,
that is when it's going
I'll
to
be
go to
moving.
the peak. Probably push it to March last week or April first week. That's the right time
Okay.
for you to come to Canada. Right? It'll slowly start settling
Okay.
down. Snow slowly starts to
Sure.
settle down, and then you can
Sure.
experience 1 2 snows. It'll be fun. Then it's going to be summer, right? Spring and summer. So yeah, good. Yeah. That should be
Yeah.
your plan, right? So anyways, yeah, I'll definitely let you know what's the situation here, so you can act accordingly. All right.
Sure.
So thank you so much, Ram. Thank you so much for being
Sure.
here. Thank you so much for giving.
Yeah,
Loved
thanks
it.
for this wonderful session. Thanks for allowing me to discuss
Yeah,
my
this is
experience with
not
your
just going to help
audience.
all people here. It's going to help people who didn't even have an idea about Saskatchewan, right? So it's not that express entry is the only way. There are other options
Yeah,
as well
yeah.
that people can explore. So once you start exploring, one thing that you rightly said, right? If you don't give up on your dream doesn't give up on you, right?
Yeah, don't give up. So everyone can realize their dream. For some people, it will take 1 month. For some people, it will take 1 year. For other, it may be 2 3 years. But eventually, everyone is going to realize
Okay.
their own
So
dream. Right? And one more thing I want to add here. Uh, I was also having
yeah,
another idea, like
yeah,
study
that's right.
visa.
Yeah.
You remember, right? So apart from SINP, apart from
Exploring that.
express entry, I was also want to study like 1 or 2 year, so that I'll get some experience. I will get some local Canadian
That's right.
education to boost up my points.
It went for your
But
good.
everything,
You didn't have to
yeah,
spend that 15-20 lakhs, right? You saved that money. You should be happy right now. So one before we close, Ram. So
yes, yes,
there are a lot of people who are aspiring to get the PR, who are aspiring to come to Canada. They might have actually tried IELTS but not working out. So points are really high. The system is doing this, that. So there are a lot of confusion. You know that Express Entry is also in a transition phase wherein they are going to include the category-based draws and all those things are there. So there are so many aspirants who are, anyone
yes,
who's
yes,
following this
yes,
page, they are
yes.
definitely aspiring to come to Canada. So what is that one piece of advice that you would share with all the Canadian PR aspirants who are aspiring to get the PR somehow or the other? Like, what would you like to share with them?
Okay. First, understand the requirement. Go to IRCC website and know your Sierra score first, and then do SWOT analysis. What Whether you have financial backup or whether you have some other route, explore everything. Do SWOT analysis, and then take your decision. And when you take your decision, don't go to any consultancy and spend huge money on so and so things. Instead, you can do it by yourself with the guidance from expert like you. It's very easy for
Yeah.
them to realize their goal.
Okay.
So they can have one-on-one talk with you, and we
That's
can
right.
have any other session like this for Saskatchewan or Express Entry. So I think these people are. I am talking about consultancy. These people are demanding huge money for the work, which doesn't
That's right.
demand that so much money.
Correct.
Like they are demanding like
Yeah.
2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Yeah, they are making use of
That's right. That's
people's
exactly right. Yeah.
ignorance.
Right word. Correct. Okay. So one thing that I personally admired about Ram and still admire about Ram is the commitment and the nature not to give up, right? So he could have given up very easily when the IELTS thing didn't work out. So he had all the reasons in the world to get demotivated and to give up on the dream. But even then, he never gave up. He gave it 5 times. Maybe I can share his scorecard. I still remember he has shared me that thing. First attempt, second attempt, third attempt.
Yeah,
What is the
yeah.
score for all the 5? Excel sheet. Yeah. So
Excel.
even then,
Good.
never gave up. He was still willing to explore other options and did all these things and came up with something. And now finally he has managed to do it. So one piece of advice for all you guys who are watching, don't give up, right? So explore stuff, explore the options. Just like Ram rightly said, he was even going to that extent where if PR is not working, he was willing to come to Canada on a study route and then convert that into PR. So that's the kind of commitment that he had towards his goal. And maybe that's what I strongly believe. That commitment has made him stand wherever he is right now, right? So my piece of advice,
Hope,
and give your
always hope for the
yeah, yeah.
best,
Prepare
prepare
for
for
the
the
worst,
worst.
give your best,
Yeah.
expect the best, right? So put in all the effort and explore, and I'm pretty sure you will also be able to realize your dream, right? So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this for this live. I hope that you learned something with the interaction with Mr. Ram here, and I hope that his story motivates you, inspires you to give more, right? So put in more efforts. I'm pretty sure one day you will also achieve your dream, right? Once again, thank you so much, Ram, for being here. So we will do this frequently. Maybe next time when you're here or once
Thank you, Ajay.
get your
Thank you.
PR
Yeah.
stamped, maybe let's
Yeah,
do
sure.
another live, right? So that's really motivating all the
Yeah, sure, sure.
aspirants out
We'll
here,
do.
right? So let's connect once again. Thank you so much. So I'll see you guys
Yeah.
soon. Thank you. Yeah. Bye. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Yeah, see you.